And we're live.
Hi, girls.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I hear.
We still always like highlight. We don't go live every week.
I know.
I know, but it's still every week. It's like it's brand new. It's like the first time we're live.
Guys, welcome to another week of Detour Essentials Live right here from our YouTube channel, Ready to Emerge. Hello, ladies.
Hi, night.
Voice.
Yes.
I don't know. I was talking to Roxy today, and you know, she has that voice that I feel like inspired to like embrace my,
Was it because of our radio interview today?
or maybe because of our radio interview today.
That
I wonder if
was
any
one.
of our emergers were able to tune in and hear us on The Edge. We were interviewed by our previous guest, Elaine Lawton, on her high frequency show, and it was really, really, really awesome, guys. What did you think about it?
It was great. And as Lisa, I've been listening to the show. It really is high frequency, but it's like it's hanging out with Elaine in the afternoon. Very cool. And it was great just being on the show with her today. And her energy is so contagious.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They couldn't have picked a better name for that show because that is Elaine.
Yes.
Yeah, that show is definitely her. I mean, it's fun, it's light, but it's still inspiring and impactful. You know? Definitely.
So guys, for those just joining us, as usual, we invite you to subscribe, like, share, and comment on our YouTube channel, Ready to Emerge. We do have a few people joining us from the Facebook group, and that's okay too, but you can also join us at Ready to Emerge on YouTube. I hope Roxy will tell me how I'm doing with this voice when she comes online in a little bit.
Well, let me tell you how you're doing with your voice. Because I'm just like, that voice is right.
Are you saying don't quit my day job?
No, what I'm saying is now you know when you start this, like you know how my brain works. All of a sudden, I keep thinking radio voice now. Hi everybody, how are you doing? My name is Michelle Cameron. I'm joined today by Naomi and Kathy.
I think that's how we should do our the introductions today.
No.
With our best radio voice.
I don't have a radio voice.
Catherine, everybody has an inner radio voice. Guys, do you notice something? I'm getting I can't, those are called traps. That's from the gym, girls. Gains, right? Right there.
I know, I mean, like we can all show,
What is it?
Like they're called traps. It's this little bump right here. You see how it's like a little bit raised? I just noticed this because I need to wear more shirts like this.
No, but I make it get too tough though. So you look like a trapper.
I can't.
So just be mindful.
Okay, I'm mindful. I'm aware. I'll try to stop looking at it.
Listen, I'm going to come inside here and take off first and show you, Tina.
Okay, guys. So guys, we are officially in the second week of July, and that's a little insane to me.
Yeah,
it's a little. I just feel like the time is just. It's gonna be Christmas. It's gonna be Christmas.
Yep. By the time we blink, it's Christmas.
The time is running away, guys. Guess what I'm doing tomorrow?
What?
So, tomorrow, I am the guest speaker at the Moon Preparatory Evening Ceremony, a school I'm very familiar with, having attended there about 10 years ago. I am very excited. I'm so excited. It was 10 years ago.
As much as I am a Saint Peter and Paul Preparatory alum, I still celebrate your greatness and that you have this opportunity to speak at your alma mater.
Thank you. The
You know,
best.
we could have gone to Mona Prep. We're understanding.
I feel
It's
nervous.
fine. That's exciting, Rochelle.
Yeah. But you know, it's funny, little dreams that you have. So this is actually my second
It's
time.
virtual.
Pardon?
Is it virtual?
It is virtual drive-through, but I'm physically going to be there in my mask. I don't fully understand. But it's like a new
Can I
thing.
come?
So exciting. So the
Can I
thing,
come?
you notice I'm not answering you.
I just thought you didn't hear her.
I'm just not answering her.
Okay, so, well, just tell me what time and I'll be there.
But you know, guys, so I had always wanted to speak at Mona Prep graduation. I love graduations. And as a child, I was always like, I want to be guest speaker. So the first time they asked, you know, so I'm just like, you don't even have to ask twice. I'm so there. So I'm waiting on Campion to ask me to speak at their graduation. The little dreams that I have in life. And then I want to be conferred with an honorary doctorate at the University of the West Indies so I can give a speech there. The little things I dream of. Little dreams you have.
I can make that all happen for you.
And we can make it happen. We'll make it happen. I'm sure there's someone in our tribe that can make that happen.
Yeah.
Done and done.
So big part of the dream tomorrow at Mona Prep, you know, I'm very excited. So when they ask me, I'm just like, I wonder if I should sound as excited as I am. I'm like, let me check that date. Yes, I'm available.
This is the most excited I've ever heard you about speaking at anything.
Anywhere. It's true.
Not even emerge. Not even emerge.
I'm very excited.
Let's leave it at that. So speaking
So
of
on that level of
yes.
excitement, guess what time it is, guys? It's time to
Reset.
And we invite you to reset with us on Saturday, July the 18th for our first virtual workshop. We're super excited about that. If you follow us on Instagram, if you don't, you can follow us now. It's Ready to Emerge. And there we go. Ready to reset. So it's going to be an interactive virtual workshop, Saturday, July 11th, between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. The price is only $37 and tickets are available now. So you can log on to our Instagram page, click the link in our bio, and you can purchase your tickets, share it with friends. You can also just visit the link directly. It's bit.ly/reset in capital letters, workshop in common letters, and you're good to go. And we're going to be doing a lot of great things on that day, just helping you to reset and get ready for the second half of the year and what is to come. Once you're registered the day before the event, you're going to get a downloadable virtual workbook so that as we're going through the day with the different activities, because you know that we do actionable next steps. So we want to ensure that even though we can't meet in person, you're getting the same Emerge experience that you would have if you are there with us. So we're going to have a workable workbook that you can use while we're doing the workshop. Guys, am I leaving anything out here?
Nope.
No, I think
Okay.
I feel excited from your introduction, Nye. I'm like, I really need to sign up for that workshop.
Yes.
Yeah, you're good. So I have a quick joke to give you.
I'm learning from Adrenaline Rush.
So I have a joke to give you. Today, I'm doing a presentation, a Zoom presentation, just before we came on, and I'm in full flight. I get a message from my mother, you know, the one, Marcia.
Yes.
Her message is because I had set up her Bible study Zoom, but I hadn't opened it so that you could enable, and I was the host. So mommy is like, I know you're busy, but my Bible study needs to start now. And you know what? I was like, I got a little moment break that I could go and open it. And, you know, it was like, I laughed. I was humbled by it. Because, you know, again, some days you remember what is really important. So full flights or not, Bible study people are waiting. And I just went on after, and it was like the Lord sent me there because the message that they were talking about was what I needed just before coming on, and it just energized me. The Lord works in mysterious ways, doesn't he?
Yes.
Always.
That's awesome. Awesome. Oh, yes, that's me. Okay. So last week we were joined by two amazing women. So nice we had to do it twice. And that was with Debra Taylor Smith and Roxene Nickle. And we are so excited to have them back on the show today. So, of course, last week we spoke about 50 and Fabulous, but it led to so many other amazing topics that we didn't even plan for. And we wanted more, the mergers wanted more, the ladies wanted more. And so here we are with part 2 of 50 and even more fabulous. Hi, ladies. Welcome again.
Welcome.
Hi, ladies. Thank you so much. We are so grateful that you could join us again this week. So last week we talked about your shared UK links. We talked about growing up in Jamaica and the UK for Debra. We talked about fitness. Debra. We talked about your career journeys. We talked about your faith walks, miscarriages, endometriosis. So there's so many areas that we touched on. And this week we want to get a little bit more insight from you guys. So Roxy, last week you told us a little bit about your endometriosis, and we've received so much feedback from it. Some persons are not clear on what endometriosis is. So can you break it down for those of us that don't know exactly what it is?
Sure, I will do the best non-medical way of explaining.
Non-medical.
Yeah. Okay, what endometriosis is, what it is the tissue that is there that would leave your body during your period, right? So all that tissue that's formed to keep the baby and keep the egg safe and all of that, that tissue breaks down and that is what becomes your period every month. With endometriosis, that tissue, some of it leaves, but some of it stays in your body. And when I try to explain it, the best way I say, if you ever watched Alien and you see that web, that is what it forms. It forms a web. So it sticks to your cervix. It will go as far into your pelvis. It will go in your vaginal walls. It will go in your anus. It finds ways to stick and it stays there. So it forms this web. So the egg comes down, it kills it. The sperm comes up, it kills it because it's impenetrable. And because it keeps every month we have a period, it builds up. So it will just keep finding somewhere to be until, like my endo sister that passed, it can eventually reach your brain. So that's what the tissue is. What they do to test it, because that's the only way you can see it, you have laparoscopic surgery, which is they go through the navel and they take a microscope and they look for it and see it, and then they just touch it with a probe which burns it off, and that passes out like you're having your period. And hopefully you can there's ease. It doesn't go away because it is so microscopic they can't catch all the places that it is, but with the surgery they can get as much of it as possible. Mine was everywhere. I think I was like stage 3. Mine was.
So when did you discover that you had it?
I discovered I had endometriosis approximately about 10 years ago when I was trying to get pregnant and couldn't figure out what was going on. And Dr. Guthrie at the time, y'all know Mario Evan, his dad. Yeah, his dad was my doc at the time before he retired. He told me about it and he said, I think that's what you have, because I tell him how I'd have bad periods, which we all know that's what we hear from we're growing up, yeah? And he said, but that's the only way I can see it. When he went in, that's what he found. And he said he did that surgery and he said, go and try and get pregnant. I did. And unfortunately, I had what was called a spontaneous abortion. So the body just rejected everything. So I didn't have to have a DNC or anything. It just, everything came out. He said, try and get pregnant again after some time. And I went to 5 months. And the night before I was scheduled to go do my ultrasound. And I realized I'm not feeling anything. There's no flutter. There's nothing. But I said, all right, she's sleeping, because I say it's a girl. And went to doc. They did the ultrasound. They did a vaginal ultrasound. They did all of that. And they said, unfortunately, the baby has died. as I said, it's the worst time of my life because during that time, they have to induce labor. So I had to go through all of that, feel it, walk through the hospital, walking past all these mothers with their babies or women who are pregnant. And the worst time for me was when I woke up the following, after the surgery to realize I should have a little person in my arms. And I just unloaded. And that was the first time since doing everything because my friends call me Wonder Woman. I don't think so. I just think that if stuff needs to be done, it has to be done. I'm in pain every day of my life, but I have to survive. I have to move on. I have to keep going. And the day before I went, the couple hours before I was scheduled to go into hospital to have it induced, I was on a TV show. I hosted. I went on the radio and did a show, and then drove myself to the hospital. Um, but it was just one of those experiences that it was just horrible. There is nothing else I can't explain it any other way. But I got through it. Unfortunately, after doing that and taking some time, I started to feel pain again. Of course, I now began to have a period again, and that's when I went to Michael Abrams. God bless him. We all know him.
That's my
And
doctor.
yeah, it's my doc. And he is one of the few doctors in Jamaica who is actually studying it because endometriosis affects 1 in 10 women worldwide.
Wow.
And yeah, and I think it's gone to 3 in 10 worldwide now in the past couple of years. Now that they've been doing more, because it's
Yeah.
now sexy disease. People are now having it. Um, And a lot of the times, women don't find out that they have it until you're trying to get pregnant. Because we're all grown up to say you have bad periods. It happens. Some of us have it heavier than some. So most women don't find out. Anybody I meet and I talk to, I said, go and get the test done. Especially, and I know it's not cheap to do the laparoscopic surgery, because that's the only way to find out. So I started to have pain again, and I bled nonstop from December, January, February. Nothing they could do. If you saw me, I look emaciated. Michael didn't know what to do. They would put you on. What they can do sometimes to stop it is put you on contraceptives back to back, so that you don't have a period, which eliminates amount of the endometrial tissue that stays behind. Mine went through it. I was hospitalized for a while, and Michael had to do major surgery. So I have an incision left, right, in my navel, and they had to go through my vaginal canal to go in, because Michael said when he went in, it was everywhere. So I had that, did that again, was home for a little bit, and started doing their injections. I'm sorry, the name of the injection slips me, but that's what they use worldwide for women for the pain. There is no cure. There is no cure, because every woman is different. So a little bit of endometrial tissue will cause a lot of pain, or a lot will cause a lot of pain. It doesn't matter. You will work out. You may eat right. So they can't pinpoint exactly what. They can just tell you to take care of yourself and eat as best as you can. But the side effects of the injection are simply horrific. You have headaches, stomach cramps, heart palpitations, and it eventually over time affects your kidneys. Because when you get an injection, it lasts for 2 months. And then you get another injection, which, hello, is not cheap. So that is even another thing, because as I spoke about with the Base Foundation, we had a meeting with all the ladies and just inviting persons to talk. And a lot of them said they can't afford it. So they suffer. So you have the endometriosis, you have fibroids, you have adenomyosis, you have all of that. And it's just crazy. So I decided I'm going to come off the medication, because one day I had all of those side effects. One day I was on the floor, called Michael, I said, I'm done. If I continue, I will deal with the pain for the rest of my life. Wherever it stopped me, I just pause and I move on. Like now I'm in pain, not that much, because I have an inhumanly high pain threshold. But it's terrible. It's crippling. And I don't think you're ever able to fully explain to people the pain that you feel and how it just disrupts your life. You know what I mean? And I pray for my endo sisters. That's what we call each other. For those who are going through it, I'm happy for those who are able to have kids, at least one. But it is. I really hope that at some point they will be able to figure out why this is suddenly happening. Something that should be a natural process for all of us is now just destroying lives, destroying families, destroying women, because each of us have to deal with it and have to figure out how to survive, how to get through
But
each day.
so there are no real differentiating symptoms other than bad period pains.
There is bad period pains. There is pain on a normal basis. So I am not on a period, but I am in pain. So it's the pain is not there when you're seeing your period alone. You are in pain
Okay.
all the time.
All
So
the
it's
time.
not when you're having your period, you are in pain all the time. The pain is just there because that tissue is like it's squeezing, like it's holding space. So it causes pain. Your back hurts, your stomach, there's cramping down the legs. So it's constant. It's constant. And
Oh,
And you said
pain.
that
this is the most
there's no
I've ever learned about this
Sorry?
topic ever.
Say again?
I said this is the most I've ever learned about this topic ever.
The first known
Ever.
case in Jamaica, I did a paper on it when I was finishing up last year, my degree. The first known case in Jamaica was known, she was 14 years old. So it doesn't matter about age. All her organs were stuck together. It was
Ooh.
so bad that all her organs were just stuck together. It traveled up. 'Cause the younger we are, our periods are heavier. Not that it's different when we get older, but when we're younger,
Right.
they move more. So everything was just stuck together. So she will never have children. She can't. The surgery she has to do is just to try and relieve the pressure of all the organs that have been stuck together. Um, no cure. No cure. We
But
just
is
pray.
there any kind of treatment to manage the pain?
That diplo what is it?
The
Diplopavera.
Primavera.
Yeah, that's the injection.
Lupin. Thanks, Lansdale. Lansdale just sent the name to
Yeah,
us. Yeah.
diplopavera. Yeah. When I think of bad things, I take them out of my head. So that's the name of the injection. Doctors like Michael will also try to put you on back-to-back birth control so that you don't have a period, so he can work out how else he can help. Because some
Right.
other over-the-counter medication in terms of painkillers can help some women, or at least bring it down. So if you, God bless you, have somebody like Michael, and there are 2 or 3 other doctors that I know of, they will work with you. That's why I send everybody, go to the Base Foundation, speak to Shauna Fuller Clark. Her team
Yeah. I was
will
just going to
work
tell
with
them Shauna from Kingston Bookshop has
Shauna
endometriosis
Fuller
and
Clark. Yeah, man.
she's
She is the first person diagnosed with stage 4 or stage 5 endometriosis. It was in her lungs.
yes.
It was in her lungs. And she didn't find out till she collapsed on a plane ride. And if the doctor at the hospital in
Wow.
Florida was not learning about it, because they were telling her, like, ma'am, how long have you smoked? And she's like, I've never smoked a day in my life, because her lung was black. And it's when the doctor said, no, let's do a biopsy. And when he took it out, he said, but this tissue shouldn't be here. It should be here. And that's how they found
Yeah.
it. That's what she had. And many surgeries later, she's here. So I'm glad.
Can you say again where people can go to get information?
BASE, Better Awareness, for support for endometriosis. That's just type in Base Foundation, BASEJA, Base JA. And even if you put in Shauna Fuller Clark, Base Foundation will come up, and it's also on Instagram. Instagram is even better. Just BASE. You can't find it. Base JA. And you can just get in touch with them. You can reach out to me, and I will give you her number. I give you the number for the for the foundation for Nicole, who is her second, and all the other ladies there who can help.
Yeah.
We used to have a
So
support
as
group, but kind of everything kind of stopped now with the physical
COVID.
distancing.
Mhm.
yeah.
you're saying something nice.
Oh, I was just saying, I saw that Lansdale was asking how many stages are there?
Well, up to the point that we know about 6.
Wow.
Okay.
5 or 6, yeah. Because I think 6 would be the brain where my elder sister died from, because there's really
Okay.
nowhere else after that. So I think there's 6.
Okay.
That's what we know of.
Anything about endometriosis? I mean, I knew about it very peripherally with the constant pain, but we are
Right.
even as women talking enough about it. So this journey that you're on as an advocate too, and so that we are aware, because we should be promoting more testing. I mean, when you
Yes.
mention how expensive it is to even do the procedure, you
Yes.
know, and if persons want to make any contributions to help a sister, they can be made through the base foundation.
Yes, because as I
Okay.
said, we have a number of our elder sisters who can't afford it. I forget the name of the doctor. He's up at UA, the UA clinic, because initially I could have gone where I would pay, say, $15,000 for one injection. If I go to the clinic, I paid maybe $1,000, at max maybe $2,000 to get
Mhm.
it done. They would give me the shot there. You understand? So
Right.
there are outlets there, but they won't always have the medication, because it's not. Depo-Provera is very hard to get in,
Yeah.
and it's very controlled
Yeah.
medication because of what it does. It's for pain, and
Birth
it's also for
control.
birth control. So
Right.
it's very controlled. It's very managed. So we because I say we at the Base Foundation offer that for you. And
Mhm.
then there are ways of doing surgery, but you know how it is with a clinic. Whereas I can call Michael and he can schedule the surgery because I have insurance and I can get it done.
Yeah.
With a clinic, you have to wait.
Yeah.
There's a line, you know what I mean? And the
Yeah.
doctor offers their service because you're not paying for it. So it
Yeah.
takes a little longer. So you're in pain for a little longer. It's sad, but we need to do something about it. We need to get that word out there because it's affecting
Yeah.
more women than
So
they even know.
absolutely. I mean, I know 3 women personally that have it, which I mean, I think that's a lot for something that is
But it's
supposed to be rare.
10,
Yeah,
so chances are
exactly.
we all know someone who has it.
Yes,
Yeah,
Or,
right.
Yeah.
I believe so. I believe
yeah.
so.
So, Roxy, as an advocate, what has that journey been like, and what can we do to help advocate? Is there anything that we can do to contribute? Is there anything we can do to spread the word?
Uh well, I believe that you can make the link with Shauna. For
Okay.
me, whenever I get the chance, if I'm standing in a line and somebody asks, why are you buying so and so? And I says, because I have endometriosis. And they're like, what is that? And I go, okay, well, so I need to spread the word because I realized even up to maybe 2 weeks ago, just talking about it, people still don't know what it is.
Yep.
And so any opportunity to spread the word, make the link with Base Foundation, ladies, and your listeners as well, and see how we can on our various platforms in our lives with people around us spread the word. Because in my short
Yeah.
time at UE, the amount of persons that I did, because I did a presentation as a survivor, as a warrior, and that went out, and I got pamphlets from the Base Foundation, which I handed out across campus, and a lot of ladies and the men as well who wanted to know about it, because it affects us, but it affects them and it affects our families. Remember, I tell you,
Yeah.
Yeah.
um, sexual intercourse, using the bathroom, just surviving, it affects all of that, and it causes depression because when you're in pain consistently, it drains you. You are tired, you get depressed, you just want to curl up. So anybody, just make the link with them. You can find me, Rocks in the Box. I will send you to whomever. We will keep spreading the word. I have I have done a feature which I hear is still running on GIS. They interviewed me about it. And
Yeah.
March is endometriosis month. This is where we wear yellow.
Okay.
And that
Okay.
is worldwide. So
Right.
if you go endo.org, it's worldwide. And as I
Okay.
said, we're trying to get it more in Jamaica because remember I told you last week, it's not a sexy disease. So corporate Jamaica, it's very hard, and that's what we've been told. Thank
Right.
God we have the backing of the governor lady, the governor general's wife. Sorry,
Yeah, Lady Allen.
she
Lady Allen.
has got Lady Allen. She has come on for us, and we have a number of other personalities who.
And Pacers, I think, has a 5K for you guys to right?
Sorry.
One of the running clubs does a 5K for you.
Yeah, yeah. But we need to not have 50 people just walking on the road. There's so many of us out there.
I have
But
a
you know,
question.
because of sponsorship. Yes.
Sorry. I have a question. So you say that the pain, one has heavy periods and they're quite painful, correct? At what
Yeah.
point do you have to, I guess, ask your gynecologist to test you for endometriosis? Because based on what I'm hearing, you could go for a number of years just thinking, oh, I have heavy periods, without being tested or being diagnosed, and therefore untreated. And I recall in high school, I had a number of friends who had to be home for 2-3 days when it came to that time of month. And I wonder is it something that gets better with early detection and treatment? Is it something that if you're detected early and treated, you could perhaps increase the likelihood of what's the word, lessening the impact of it? I wonder.
The unfortunate thing about endometriosis is different with every woman. Some of my endo sisters have had children and the endo isn't as bad since they've had their child. Some it's still kind of the same. So it may be better for some. We don't know. It's just what happens to you after. So it's a, what do you call it? It's a trial and error. The various women, because there were women I know who it was really, really bad. They had a child and it's still really, really bad. There are those who it was really, really bad. They had a child and it's not so bad. It's manageable. No, yeah. So, but I would think that if you at any at all in your life want to have a child and you've always had bad periods, you know, as you are younger, coming up to that time,
Yeah.
see what you can do and get the test done. I mean, it would be awesome to know that it's just a bad period.
Yeah.
You know? But you don't want to wait and then 10 years ago, you could have had the child. If I had known I had it, I would have tried sooner.
Right.
I would have gotten the test sooner. If I had seen how my mom was bleeding so heavily, consistently, and I had the same thing. I bled, you know how your second day is heavy. That's how I bleed every single day for 7 days. I was on iron tablets all the time. If I had known. So I think take a look back at your family. It's not linked to genetics. It could be, because as I said, they're still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
But it could be. But look back, was mommy heavy? Was grandma? That kind of thing. And then look at how you are now and then make the decision. Because as I say, it's not a cheap operation to get done, but it's effective and it will let you know. And then you'd make your decision after. You know what I mean? Everything is trial and error at this point. And every woman is different. All 5 of us here will get the test, and it's 5 different ways. It will turn out, some good, some not some good. So, and somebody asked me today, why didn't I just have a hysterectomy? But because the endometriosis tissue is all over, even though I remove my womb, it's still there and it still will cause pain. Yeah, because I tell Michael I'm sorry, ladies, I was going to use a spoon and take out my womb so I could stop being in pain. And Michael held my hands and said, no, Roxene, it's not going to make a difference because you had it so bad and it's all over. You're still gonna be in pain. And then, you know, taking out the womb comes with a whole other set of
Lots of things. Yeah.
and he says, can you manage it? And I say, I can deal with the pain. I can handle the pain. So it's still there. But just check yourselves, see what you can do. Talk to your gynecologist. I'm hoping more gynecologists are looking into it and looking at their different patients and seeing how each one is. And maybe at some point it'll get less expensive to do the surgery. I'm unsure how much it costs now. I've had 2. So, and it was pretty expensive even with insurance, you know what I mean? We just have to support each other, and the more people become a part of the base foundation, spread the word, get it out there. Who knows who you may know that you may speak to that maybe to say, oh, I want to sponsor this. I want to help you ladies. I want to help us because this is affecting our population in some way. And it's affecting the work as well, because there are women, I can go to work. There are women who, as you said, Debra, cannot go to work once that pain hits. It is blinding. It's just that I'm inhuman, so I cut through it.
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And Roxene, it's so important that you are sharing your story, because I think all of us here are learning so much, and it's now clicking out in our head. Our viewers are hearing and they are saying, but I may have this and I really need to go and get it checked out. My sister may have this. And endometriosis always was this kind of, as you said, it's not a sexy disease. We're just like, some people have it, some people don't, just like fibroids. But we need to be educated. And one of the key things with you, both you ladies, is that a lot of the feedback we got is that people see you and them is like, them stay good, you know, they look good, but they don't see what comes with it, and that you are powering through pain, you're powering through loss, you're powering through disappointment, but you are powering through. And I know that a lot of our viewers who have gone through miscarriages or who have experienced with other persons have a whole new insight on the difficulty. And you know, as you were talking, I could feel the pain, but I could feel you pushing and powering through. And so inspiring. So these conversations are so important. And really, thank you so much, Roxene, because I am telling you, it has been education for all of us. We have on Lansdale says thanks, and he's actually been throwing in questions. Janice Allen is saying, hey Jan, this is so informative, grateful, I'm tuned in. So we have to be a part of that message. Debra,
yes,
you know, I'm going to tell you the truth. Today I was looking out, I kept looking out, listening for a bike or something with like a package, like my wine. Because I knew Debra was going to send me a bottle of wine. And then Debra, you know, but she's going to send me a bottle of wine. Debra, thank you again so much for joining us. And Debra, last week when you talked about your son and parenting, and a lot of questions that came back in was this journey of being the mother of a son, because people are so concerned now about how we are raising our boys. And I mean, it was very heartwarming as you talked about your son, but we know it wasn't an overnight. So I wanted to kind of get a bit more insight on that journey of being the mother of a son.
Well, wow. So having my son has been the single most rewarding thing ever in my life, ever. So it wasn't planned. That's a whole nother story. But you know, there came this 6 pound 4 ounce bundle of joy, and I think I self-actualized the moment he was born, honestly. And his father and I were very committed to him. So I was blessed to have a partner who was committed 100% to both of us. And eventually when we broke up, when our son was 5, our one commitment was that we were going to raise this young man together. And whatever we did individually, we would collectively together do what is best for him. And I loved this being. I was like so in love with my child. I would sit, I mean, even when I was pregnant, I would talk to my belly. So he knew oh my gosh, it was, and I had the easiest pregnancy ever. I only put on 14 pounds, so I looked like I'd overeaten. And labor was 2.5 hours, so he was here in 2 pushes basically. So I'm like a freak of nature. And here was this human being that I was responsible for. So for me, that was my full responsibility. Yes, I had the support of a loving partner who would do everything, but I knew it was my responsibility. This child is dependent on me. It came from moi, and it suckled on moi breasts, if only for 9 weeks. But he did nevertheless. And I was thankful it was 9 weeks, because I did not enjoy breastfeeding, by the way. I hated it. I tried. I sat there. I was like this woman who wanted, you hope you talk, you gaze lovingly into your baby's eye, and you bond with the child. And I'm thinking, this demon child is like sucking the life out of me. But I loved him. I mean, it was such a a dilemma, because I love him, and I'm trying to create this bond, but it's painful, and he's pulling, and my nipples are sore, and I feel like a cow because he's there every 2 hours, and he's on it for an hour. So when he comes off, then I only have another hour before he's back on it. I'm like, that treadmill I did not enjoy at all. But when he came off at 9 weeks, I was like, okay, but I knew. Oh, by the way, we were in England with a young Black boy 26 years ago. It was a very different time. And my partner being Jamaican, we agreed that we wanted our child to grow up in Jamaica, certainly for his formative years. So even if we were still going to be living in England, we would send him to Jamaica to do high school, because growing up here, so I came here when I was 8, which I mentioned last time. I came here when I was 8, and I grew up here. So I actually didn't realize I was Black until I got back to England in my 20s. So I knew I was dark, because our thing here is color and class. I'm sorry, shades, not color, not necessarily color, but shades of whatever it is, shades of Black or shades of white, whatever, and classism. But I knew I was dark. I never realized I was actually Black until I was like 24 in the UK, when I was driving along doing my thing, and somebody said something like, "You nigger," and I was like, because I know who don't me them talk about. I can't be. And it was a moment I will never forget. I was in Brixton driving through, and this happened to me. But anyway, so we had this child, this little boy, that was in England in a time where, it was, complex. Yeah. And we knew that we wanted him to come home to Jamaica and grow up here and spend his formative years here, because it would make him a whole and healthy person to be launched into the world. And we have such a wonderful, wholesome society that we live in. And I know there are levels, don't get me wrong. So I'm not trying to paint it as rose-colored. And I was not uptone. I was not downtown. I think I was lower mid-tone growing up. But I had this confidence. I can do anything. And so we wanted that for him. So it was fortuitous that we moved back to Jamaica when he was 5. And so he was able to go to St. Andrew Prep, and then he got through his, what did he do? GSAT? GSAT, correct. I remember I was tortured. I was a GSAT mother. And he went to high school here, and we were very happy about that. But we did everything, Parents' Day, Sports Day, once a week dinner at least. We did everything together for him, because that's what you needed to do to support this young man. He needed his mother and his father to guide him and to show him the roles that each one plays. And I was very, very heartened, because I think I did mention it, that it was when he was about 9 or 10 that he realized that mommy and daddy weren't together as a couple anymore. And that had happened about 4 years or 5 years before he realized. And we weren't living in the same house. We were living in separate homes. But because we did so much together for him and with him, it made it a lot easier. So I like to think that we were able to raise a very, balanced and confident and principled young man. And most our friends will say that, dad's friends, my friends, our joint friends will say that, he is that kind of young man. He's very responsible. He's a joy to be around. But the challenges are real, because even though we did most things together, I was on my own with him at some points, as was his dad. But he would always be between us during the week, so we never had a set time. Oh, you have him, week on, week off, or month on, month off. It was 2-3 nights a week, 2-3 nights a week. It was, however, because both of us had quite demanding jobs when he was younger. And we would make sure that one of us took him to school every morning. We would have a driver that would pick him up in the evening and, deal with the activities, to move him around. But one of us would always take him to school in the mornings. And it's important that, as couples, or we understand what that family unit means. So that family unit is still essential today. Both of us have our other lives, but when it comes to him, we are that unit. That's his core family unit. He now has an extended family, and quite a supportive extended family. So he's fortunate to have 2 mommies, 2 daddies, basically. But in essence, being 26 years old, he still has his mommy and daddy unit. That's his family unit. And then he has an extended family unit. And I think it's important, particularly for us as women, to understand that the fathers are important role models to men, to boys. They are also to women. I mean, I'm daddy's girl. Like, don't test with my daddy. The sun shines from my dad. I really love my daddy. So I understand the dynamics between a daughter-father relationship. But ladies, do not discount the importance of that father-son relationship. And sometimes we have to bite with tongue when I like her, or she trying to become mommy, and you may have had to say to 1 or 2, hello, mommy over here, you are over there. But it's important that we allow daddy to be a part of his life. Dad may not be able to, give us the financial support that we need or want, but don't hold that against dad, because, keeping the child away from dad is not healthy for the child. If it means that you have to drive 2 extra miles because you have to go pick up the child, daddy won't drop him off, drive the extra, because we as mothers, as women, we see the harm that this does. And so what I say to my female friends is, swallow the pill, because your child, let me tell you this much, the children are watching, and they're much more astute than we give them credit for, and they don't miss anything. And it is important that we create the environment for them to be able to speak, to ask real questions. You know, where is my dad? Why isn't my dad a part of my life? You know, why are, just whatever they need to understand, to ask, let them ask, and be as open and be age appropriate with your answer. And also, they're gonna do not bad talk the man in front of the child, because we tend to do that. I hear it. I've been blessed to have someone that I did not need to bad talk. Most of you know him. Hi, because he's watching, I think. But I was fortunate. But I think also I was fortunate because I understood what it took and what it meant. And I grew up in a, you know, my parents are still married. 54 years later, they're still married. And so I've always had that support, and I understand what it means. I get the dynamic in that relationship, having mother and father in your life, because my mother was the dragon. My father, I was the apple of his eye. He told mommy, if it's a boy, don't bring it home. And he got me his princess. So I have been able to bask in that glory, because it is glory. We all know that, you know, when your dad, the relationship that you have with your dad is priceless. So I've tried to I go out on dates with my son so that he knows he's to open the door, he's to, you know, let me sit down, he's to pull out my chair, and let me and feed me. So I try to teach him these things. His dad does as well, but his dad gives him from the male perspective, and I try to let him understand what a woman would like. You know, I like flowers, I like food, I like wine, I like going out, I like things. But it doesn't have to be big things. It's little things. It can be a little note. It can be a little text. You know, it can be one flower. It can be a flower from the garden. You don't have to go and buy roses and come and make a big hoopla about that. It can just be, you know, it's just about that attention and that encouragement and that, you know, adoration that you show.
Yeah.
Pardon?
That little something that brings that smile to your face.
Correct. Whatever the love language is. Yeah.
Debra, I think because you have gone through with us, you have actually gone through that journey of a mother with a son,
Yeah.
But co-parenting, and I think that's the word that's used now. I don't know what you used to call, but it named co-parenting now. But I think what is so powerful too is that balance, that how you big up your son's father and the role that both of you have played in the person that he is. And I thought that was so important too, because in a lot of instances we do not big up that relationship with the father. We don't big up the relationship, that father relationship, and that's a lot that is missing from us now. So I think this is thank you for that. And because I know Nai is the son of a teenager, so you've answered a lot of her questions. A lot of her questions. I don't know what to look forward to. So we need some flowers. I'm going to tell you some want some flowers too. But I think one of the things too in the conversation that we've been having so far is very different perspectives. But at the end of the day, both of you still come to that place of a journey of learning, a journey of understanding yourself, and also that willingness and peace with who you are to be able to share that journey, which is so powerful. When, you know, we've been talking about a lot of things. We've been talking about miscarriage. The miscarriage is a thing we don't talk about in Jamaica. We don't talk about women things. So Roxene, we don't talk about women things, period. It's like a secret thing.
Yeah.
So we are not speaking about women things, and a lot of things we think we are the first one to ever go through, and we're the only one to ever go through this. And Roxene, as you spoke about miscarriage, and I know a lot of people were like, how can you speak about it so openly? Because a lot of times we talk, we don't treat it as a part of our journey. And it is, so you would have touched somebody's life today who's been through the same thing, and they thought they were the only person, but you powered through because you are Wonder Woman. And last week, this thing has really stuck with me, and I think I'll hand over to Nai now because Nai had disappeared, so I took away her questions. But last week, man, you guys, when you talked about your faith journey, and Roxy, when you talked about holding on to the Lord foot, I tell you, the whole week I've been hanging on. And I think for a lot of our listeners, the openness that you have spoken about your faith journey has really been inspirational. And a lot of people saying, I'm kind of struggling with my faith now. How do I make that kind of leap? What is the difference that it makes in my life? Roxene, do you want to start out?
Well, I don't know how you explain it. I grew up with, as I told you about my great grandmother, 6'2", maroon. She knew the Bible from cover to cover. She, no matter what it is that happened, she had a Bible verse for it. Whether it is to strike the fear of God in you or to make you understand. Yeah, she had a Bible verse, a whistling woman and a flying crow. And I'm like, what? Anything that you do, she could find it. So it was always something that was there. I always knew that there was, for want of a better word, a being, a higher spirit. And it took me a couple of years to walk strongly in that faith. And somebody even said to me today, how in God's name all these things happen to you? Because you ladies don't even know half the things that have happened to me. And you're still here. And I said, it's only because of my faith. And even though at times it may not be as strong as it is now, and I'm still learning, it carried me through. And I never questioned. I recently started, well, in the past couple of years, started attending Bethel Baptist, and I'm in Sunday school. Never used to go to Sunday school, just go to church and go home. You know, I go. And then with my job, yes, media don't sleep. So I get enough time just to do the service and go and back to work. And being in Sunday school, they were talking, and everybody is like, all that's happening in life, and woe is me, and them clutch them pearls, and because everybody deals with things different, and they question God, why this happened to me, and I said, and I sat there and I listened to everybody, and I'm not discounting anybody's journey. I'm not discounting how anybody deals with things. I deal with things differently, and I said in the class, you're all, because they're older persons than me, I said, hey, Shannon, I said, I've never questioned God. And they're like, what? And I said, you're all older than me. Some are deacons, some are been in the church, some preach. You understand? And I said, I've never questioned God. From that day, as I'll tell you, I was on the ground. And from the day he wrapped himself around me when I said, why you make this happen? Why my baby gone? And I think my faith got even stronger then. And I've never questioned him. A lot of things have happened in my life, where jobs, working with bosses that are, oh my God, you will go to prison for them, because they test your faith and they push you, and your life is hard, and you have friends who have disappointed you and have gone through it all. But God always says, I'll find a way. It will be better. Everybody is in your life for a purpose. And that's how I do it. Not everybody can do it that way, but I try to find the positive in it. There has to be even a glimmer of positive somewhere in it. And that is how I move. When I mean I left my job, don't know what was happening, don't know where I was going, don't know what's next. And I get a call and I'm like, I did not send out anything. And it happens. Yeah. Up to 2 months ago, they found growth in my throat. Everybody's stressing about it. And I'm like, all I thought is like, whoa, I don't want to lose this gift. But if this is something else that's going to happen, all right, God, I'm going to walk with you. Yeah, I'm supposed to have a biopsy. The doctor says, well, it's not so bad. Let's see it, how it going. And I don't think about it because I don't question him. And I know people, what they call that, blind faith. I just call it faith because he has never let me down. And even when it looks like it's the darkest at this point, and don't get me wrong, I'm like, God, why this happened? What's going on? I don't understand. And I'm stressed. But then I feel that warmth and I'm good. And I keep walking and I keep moving forward. So that's all I can do. Because we're going to have the days, no matter how strong we are in our faith, we're going to have days where we're going to say, Jano Star. Yeah, my best friend did the shirt, Jano Star, because I'm always saying that. But then he just turns it around. And it will be the little things. Like somebody will send me a message to say, Rox, I'm just thinking about you. Or I saw you posted something and those words, because I try to post positive energy things and just stuff that makes me smile and I want somebody else to smile. And they said, boy, Rox, that made me feel so good. And I go, oh, all right. I made one person feel a little better. Maybe that was my purpose today. And that's how I take each day. That's just how I do my walk. And I'm still learning. I don't know the Bible cover to cover. I don't think I'll ever know the Bible cover to cover.
And it's
but
okay.
I have it as my shield. I have it. I can draw from it. And I have a good set of persons who I can turn to. And we all don't need to be Bible thumping, but we need to understand that there is a higher being than us. There is one that knows what we should do and how we should do it. And we need to listen to that voice. We need to take that beat.
Amen.
And then go, oh, okay, and just walk in faith, because trust me, I'm still here, and
Debra is nodding. Debra is like, yes, yes, Roxene. I see you.
Yeah. So my journey was a little bit different. My mother. She went to a Pentecostal church, so, they're lively. And growing up in the teenage years, we can't really relate to lively because that's not so cool. Then, I went away, did my thing. I was away, so I wasn't really focused on church, but came back home. And I don't know, there was always... I've always felt blessings, and you call it lucky, but it's when you realize that it's actually blessing. So I don't say good luck to anyone anymore. I say, continued blessings or God bless you or however, but it's not luck. Yeah. I was always aware of, let's say I've had some narrow escapes, and as you get older, you kind of try to make sense of some of the situations that you've been in. And when, as a teenager, my mother had a rule that you could go out on a Saturday night, but no matter what, you have to find yourself in church on Sunday morning. So I used to live off Hagley Park Road, and I could walk to St. Jude's Church from my home. So St. Jude's Catholic Church was my church home for when I was about maybe 10 or 11, maybe to 19. And so I can still recite those, whatever they say. I know them, like you wake me up at 1 o'clock in the morning and the bell is ringing and it's communion time. I can recite everything. I know them. But I never felt connected to that. It felt more ritualistic for me. It works for others. I'm not knocking it. But I needed more. And, they say that you must never discount a praying woman. So I know my mother has prayed over her 4 daughters. And she was always praying, and she would always, from time to time, say to me, are you going to church? Or come to church with me, or something of that nature. And of course, you can't say too often, because I'll be like, Mom, I'm a big woman. I will go to church when I'm ready. Anyway, I used to experiment and go to different churches because I want to find that place. When you kind of know that there's something out there, you're not quite sure what it is, but something's out there and someone's on your side. It's not a godfather in the real sense. It's not a fleshly godfather. It's something else. And I would go to different churches, and I would find, trying to find that peace. And I ended up at Swallowfield Church, and I found a comfortable home there. And but while there, I fell in love with Dwight Fletcher. And this is spiritual love, churchly love, eh? And the way he talked about the Bible and the way he related it to real life. We're actually doing a God on Film series now, and it's just looking at movies that we go to the cinema and watch, like The Bourne Ultimatum, Ratatouille, just movies that we would watch, and the messages that one derives can or get from those movies. And he just has this way with the word that resonated with me. And so I would go to church, and he would talk about all the things that you're thinking about: honor your mother and your father, sex, fornication, masturbation, you name it, everything he would talk about in church. And I'm like, this man is real life things we talk about. And of course, every time he touches on a subject that relates to you, that's
I know we're having some internet issues in the area because the electricity is going. Now let me hand over to you while Debra reconnects.
There's a question that Lansdale had for Roxy. And he wanted to know, Roxy, the role and the responsibilities that men can take on having a spouse with endometriosis.
I'm not hearing you, Catherine.
Roxy, Lansdale has a question.
The role and responsibilities that men can take. Support definitely is the first one, because as I tell you, it affects sex. Sex was incredibly painful for me, but you try to power through because you don't want to deprive my husband at the time, but not realizing that was causing it as well. So, and then on finding out, so need to be supportive of that. Do your research as well on it, and go to the doctor with her, so you can ask your questions, because I can't ask questions for you. You understand? So you, Lansdale, if it's your partner, you go to the doctor and say, but doc, if so and so, and if I do so and so, or how can I help? As you said, there is no cure, but if he says, all right, try changing her diet, then you try and support her. Yeah, you might not eat everything that she eats, but you're there for her. You say, babes, can I get this for you? Or yeah, or some treat or something. So support in any way that you can. That would be definitely one of the ways, because you physically can't do much except to hold her. So definitely support.
Support. Thanks for that, Roxene.
No problem.
Debra is back. Now I'm gonna hand it over to you, Debra. You're back, you're even more beautiful that you're back. We're happy to have you back.
Thank you. Yeah.
Let me go back to where we were.
So
Okay.
I remember. So
Oh,
I was
Debra.
just telling you, and I'll kind of wrap it up.
And I hear her.
Every time he touched
Debbie
on a
sound
subject,
distant.
you're not hearing me clearly.
Yeah, I
Hello,
hear
hello?
you now.
Where were you?
Yeah, man.
Just yeah.
Okay, so every time he touched on a subject that was relevant to me, I would hear that voice that says, "Take the lead, take the lead, take the lead." But it's you kind of think, I'm not married, you and there are certain things that you shouldn't do if you're not married, and it's like, how do we navigate here? And yeah, you just keep hearing that voice, and the more you read the word, read that Bible, is the more you realize, you know what, God is all I need. He is everything I need. He provides all my needs. Trust his timing. And there, the Bible it gives you the principles, the guidelines. It gives you everything you need to live a fulfilling and wholesome life. Love each other. It's a simple thing. It's not easy to do, but love one another. Be kind to others. Be your brother's keeper. It's all there. And eventually, I had to take the leap. And last year, I got baptized. So I'm a year and a half or a year and a few months into my baptism. Yes. And I have to say that it has been an amazing year. And when they say let go and let God, when you know, you understand what that really means. To trust him, to have faith in him, to know that there is someone who loves you unconditionally, who is on your side, has your back, wants only the best for you, and is guiding your steps. When you trust him, you come into agreement with his plan, and you watch it unfold. And that's where I'm at. And it's a very powerful place to be. And it's so fulfilling. I mean, Roxene, when you said, you were there and you were at his feet and you just lie there it's almost surreal, and it sounds maybe weird, but there is this perfect peace that you get, and I highly recommend it. If you don't, what I will say to you is that you need the Spirit of God. So in your heart, you need to want to be with him and ask him to come into your heart and to show you the things that you need to change to have a deeper, more fulfilling walk with him. You need the people of God, so you surround yourself with people who are supportive, who are on a similar journey or want to be on a similar journey or are ahead of you, so they can guide you. And you need the word of God. So that the Bible, I'm not a Bible total. I don't know every verse. I actually listen to it, so I do audio Bible. And it's a first step, but I'm taking it, and every day I strive to get that much closer, and I just enjoy the walk and the process.
And I think in an age where we have Google, anything that you want to know, you can Google it.
Yes.
If I want to look for depression in the Bible, if I want to look for joy in the Bible, Google it and you'll see every verse that applies.
I'm hearing Catherine.
Nai, are you there? Naomi, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, you had looked
Okay, I'm here.
So thank you so much for that, though, Debra.
Oh, no.
Let me hand over to Nai.
Okay, so I was going to say, you had mentioned, Deb, a while ago that, the support as well is very important, right? So that leads into our next line of questioning, which is more about, we talk a lot on this program and in all the events that we do about your tribe, right?
Yes.
And so when we use the word tribe, we just want to know what comes to mind for you.
Tribe it's my support system. So I have different tribes that give me support in different areas. So some of you ladies are a part of my tribe in one forum. I have my spiritual tribe. We all have our childhood friend tribe. You have your kind of family tribe. But for me, tribe represents support and the village, and it really still takes a village, ladies and gentlemen. No matter what age or stage we're at, you need a village. No man is an island. There are these phrases that we hear, and we kind of think, they're cliche and they're tired and but they really are. They really do have foundation and they mean something. So my tribe is my support system.
Awesome. Roxy, same for you. What comes to mind when you think of tribe?
I have been blessed with a set of family that are not blood, but they're friends. And it's a small group of them that, and it may sound cliche, that they or I will stand in front of a bullet for. We have been through things together in every area of our life. And I am blessed with that small but tight but strong tribe, as you put it. And it is a blessing that I consider it a blessing that they allowed me in their space to that extent, and I in theirs. Two of them, Terry and Darfine. Yeah, I will go to prison for them. Because when you have people who allow you in selflessly, and I the same, and they are genuinely there for you, and them check you. That's the important thing. My friends, I can check you and you can check me, and we're doing it from a place of love. So I am happy because all that's left in the world in terms of family is just myself and my mom. Because I lost my grandfather just a few months ago, and I lost my dad and my grandmother years ago. So to be blessed with people like that, yeah. And as a result now of getting to this new milestone in my life, I have acquired new friends, such as you ladies. Bless you all. I feel blessed to be in your space, to be allowed in your space, and for what I want to do with my life and what you are all doing with your lives. I think we all align and we are offering service, because that's what my life is about. My life is about service in any way that I can and to others. So in everything that I do, I consider it a blessing, and I just thank you all for allowing me in your space. And all right, we're done. All right, we're gonna move on.
Guys, no tears, okay? Sheesh.
Roxene working on us tonight.
Thank you, Roxene.
But it's true. Listen, life is tomorrow is not for anyone. It's not promised. And I think that I'm random like that. So even if I never knew any of you, and I'm like that, I would say you're absolutely beautiful, or I love your shoes, and I'm genuinely mean it. Some stare, because if I have something nice to say, I'm gonna say it, and I move on. Who knows what it may do? So I have my tribe, but I think I have those other people around me that I'm blessing in some way, and they're blessing me in some way. So I'm just thankful for that. All right, I'm done, Naomi. I'm done.
We love that. I think that ties in nicely to what I was going to ask next. Was really about how have you managed to build and maintain those friendships over the years? And not only that, how do you find that your friendships between men and women may be different or not?
Ooh. Well, Deborah, are you taking that, or am I going?
Well, maintaining the friendships over the years has been challenging, but it takes effort, and you have to make the time to do what's important. So I have very strong friendships from prep school through to now, and it's we obviously we can't speak every day, but with some sort of regularity we will catch up, and when we catch up it's as if we didn't skip a beat. And those are the friendships that are important and that I value, because we're all very busy and don't necessarily have the time to give a blow by blow every single day, but you have to reach out to each other. We are our brothers keepers, and juggling the relationships from prep school coming through to high school through your first job. I mean, I have friends from every single stage of life except primary school in the or whatever the first school was in the UK. I don't have any of those friends, but from every other aspect of my life I still have friends from then to now. So while my core of friends is small, and there's an inner core, I guess an outer core, there are layers of friendships that you have, and managing them all is very important. So thank God for things like Facebook and in some Instagram and WhatsApp, because it allows you to keep in touch with a number of persons all at once in a way that wouldn't be really possible outside of having the technology to assist. And in terms of male and female relationships, I do have male friends that are like girlfriends, and and those friends are just as important because they bring a different perspective to things. So you do value male friendships in a sort of different way to female relationships, because there's a perspective to a relationship or to a friendship that a male will bring that your female friends cannot provide. So I find I don't have as many good male friends as I do female friends, but I do have a few male friends that are very special to me that I've had for forever, and I value all my friendships. It's a balancing act, but I'm doing it because it's important.
For me,
Aww.
yeah. For me, I've had friends anywhere between 5 years and maybe 40 years. So I have friends right across. And we all understand each other. You have your lives, we're across the waters. But even if it's every 2 weeks or so, you send a text, you send a WhatsApp, you do whatever, checking in, you're good. And I found that even if we haven't spoken for the 2 weeks or even a month, we catch up and then we're good. So we still maintain the bond that is there, and we all understand, but we all keep in touch, and I consider it just a great thing, because not a lot of people can say they have friends for that long. For me, on the other hand, where the male-female thing is concerned, forgive me, ladies, I have more male friends than female friends because women don't like me. Why? Let's get to it. What had happened was, being a tomboy, yeah, I gotta start it there. So what had happened was, being a tomboy, the football, the hockey, climb tree and stuff, I found I have a better bond with men. Women didn't like me because, sorry, we can't do curse words, but I can sit with men and chat, right, and the arms out, and I was more comfortable. You understand what I did there, right? I can't.
Yeah, we know.
Oh, okay, good stuff. So I have more male friends. I have, and I think, and I have. It will be strange. I will become friends with somebody else's male friend, and we all hang out. But it just a better thing because women didn't like the fact that I am so good around men, and it's not anything happening. If you understand, it's just that I can talk to men. I
Yeah.
think men are honest creatures, simple, and not in that sense. Simple that if a man say, if you say to a man, "I'm fine," he's gonna work with "I'm fine," and I tell my girlfriends, tell the man that you're not feeling so good about something. So he'll have that in the back of his head. So when you get in a little attitude, he will remember that you said you weren't well. So women didn't really like me because I could
Right.
say, babes, don't do that because the man don't like that. Talk to the man, have a conversation. So a lot of women didn't like me. So I have more male friends than female friends. I'm getting more because I got 3 of you. So that's
Yeah,
really my list.
really like you.
Oh, bless you. I don't know because and I'm not a girly girl yet. Don't make this fool you and seeing all the pictures. I can do what I need to do. I'm one of the boys. Random person. I've been told that. But that was it because I would do more of the tomboy things. I wasn't with the girly girls. So the girly girls didn't like me.
That was me.
And Roxene was always into sports and doing stuff. So I ended up
I
having
was gonna say that, Kathy. I was like, that's not like Catherine.
that's
That
Catherine.
was
I said,
me.
I was gonna.
Yeah.
I
So
while you were talking, I was like, that's not like Catherine. Not Catherine now today, but I think more high school Catherine. I think Catherine went through the same exact thing.
yeah. So
The true cat.
Yep.
so that's my thing. But I what I can use is the fact of being around men more and talking to them. So I'm able to speak to my female friends and say, my girl, don't do this. This is how you should approach it. And speak to the man because they're not that hard to
It
understand.
means
Trust me.
you can provide great.
Pardon?
It means you can provide great insight on
Yes.
both. You're like a double agent.
Yes, I can. Not double agent. I'll give you the info. I don't need to double up. But so I have a good relationship with and more male friends than female friends. But I'm acquiring that, and I realize the dynamic, and I maybe because of the tomboy. So I had that growing up, and then I had my mom who is just like a perfect lady. So I know how to deal with the dynamics. So I have that nice little balance
Yeah.
of understanding. So now having more female friends, I'm able to navigate it better. And I know how to deal with when I'm with my male friends. But I still like to do the arms house and chat the foolishness with the man then because it's when a man sit down and talk, I'm telling her something. We can't talk like when a man them are reasoning. Yeah, we don't call it gossip, then men don't do that.
Yeah.
All our reasoning, you understand, Bridget? But that's all our reasoning now. You understand? But I just think both dynamics are interesting, and I'm glad that I have that nice balance of being able to have good relationships with men and have good relationships with women. In my so far so good. Yeah.
I love that. I mean, this other question, I'm not even sure if I'm going to ask it because it was more along the lines of sisterhood, but I realized more and more that not everybody has that sisterhood dynamic, as you just spoke to, Roxy, the fact that you relate better with men, and that's fine too. But then there are some women that like their sisterhood means everything to them. Like they have their friends, their core group of friends since high school or prep school or whatever, and that's their lifeline.
Yeah.
So Deb, I don't know if you have that experience, or even Catherine or Rochelle.
I have friends from high school. The friends that I consider to be my sisterhood are friends that I connected with a bit later in life, and but the sisterhood is important if you can find the right set of sisters. Because, in all honesty, the sisterhood has not always been kind to the sisterhood.
Nope.
And
Not at all.
I find that it's in recent times that we are, as sisterhoods, really understanding and doing what sisterhoods really represent. And so even, looking at where I'm in my 50s, looking at younger girls, you're seeing, girls in their 20s starting their sisterhoods on a better, I say better, but a stronger footing than many of the sisterhoods that started in their 20s 30 years ago. You know what I mean? Speaking something that I wanted to point out too, is that even brotherhoods and fatherhood has evolved
over time.
and we're seeing, that changing as well, which is, let me tell you, my heart is full when I think about it. But yeah, so sisterhood is very, very important, and it's changing for the better.
Agree.
Yeah. Wow, we're going to shift gears a little bit. But first, Debra, your friend is online. He says, ladies, big up from Atlanta. This is awesome.
Big Daddy.
I wonder who Big Daddy is.
I don't know where that name came from, but we leave that alone.
We love some Big Daddy.
Big Daddy.
Switching gears a little bit, but so you ladies are filled with wisdom, and you've shared so much with us tonight. But there are a lot of us that are dealing with feelings of failure, or we feel like we're not where we should be yet. What advice would you give to those people?
So I have those same feelings myself. I have those same feelings myself. There are areas in my life where I do not think I have been as successful as I could or even should be. And this is where my faith comes in, because it's helping me to understand that I am blessed more than I'm not blessed.
Yes.
And I have to trust God's timing. And I really shouldn't be as hard on myself, or we shouldn't be as hard on ourselves as we are, because we are healthy, so there is an opportunity. We are alive, so there's an opportunity. We have overcome, so there is opportunity. And every single day that we wake up is an opportunity to take the steps to get to where we should go. So what I will say is that one should pray and come into agreement and alignment with God's plan. And you don't have to be a Christian to do that, but it does require a bit of faith. Okay. But just understand that once you're so health is a new wealth in my opinion.
Yes.
And if you are coping with challenges, the fact that you are able is an opportunity. So we do have to understand that each day is an opportunity to get where you want to go. Have faith, trust in God, pray, and trust His timing.
Wow.
Roxy?
Yeah, I have.
We just spoke about that today on our interview about God's timing, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I have felt
that even the bad timing is God's timing too.
Exactly. So I have felt at times where I felt that I'm not good enough, or what am I not doing well enough? But to get to the point, you need to get to the point where failure is not an option, and don't look at whatever you do as failure. Look at it as a lesson.
Yes.
Look at it as a lesson. Do not use that word failure. Put it down. Say, okay, this happened. I didn't do so well at it. Do I want to continue doing this? Is this serving me? Is this serving the purpose? Look at it. I mean, you can't just pick up and leave your job, because we can't do that. We have bills to pay. Let's not get into JPS. But anyway, so you can't do that. But then look at it. How better can I be at what I'm doing if this is what I want to do? Can I look to my right or my left of something else that I could be doing, that could be serving my purpose, that could eventually remove me from where I am to something that will serve me better, that will serve a purpose better? So don't remove that word failure from your vocabulary and push forward in terms of what can I do better? What, because we spoke about it last week. What else do I love to do? I'm not necessarily trained in it or I've done it before, but it brings me joy when I think about it. Or it does when you have that, that nice feeling. You know, when it wasn't start to emerge and you get that, oh, yeah, that nice, there you go, Rush. That, once you get that, hold on to that, pen to paper, and see how best. It will take a while. It may take a while, or it may take 3 weeks. Who knows? Throwing word at you girls, right? So, you never know. But don't use, try to, as I say, it's not easy, but try to find the positive. So say, okay, I didn't do so well with this, but how much better can I be? Because this is what I want to do. Or I want to do something else. How can I do it and move towards it? And it's a journey. And you're going to get frustrated. And your knee is going buckle. And sometimes you might fall to your knees. Sometimes you might just say, I don't want to do this anymore. Then take a beat, take a moment, breathe, and move forward, because you can only get better. You can only get stronger. And your purpose, because I never knew what my purpose was. I knew something was there in the back of my head, but I didn't know what it was. I don't think I've achieved it, but I'm so much closer. I'm so much happier. You know, I'm a little stressed because my blog don't finish for Sunday yet, because I have OCD, so don't pay me any mind. But you set goals, but you feel good about doing it. So even though I'm a little stressed and I give myself a timeline and it don't do, but it's a joy. So try and find something that brings you joy, that moves you closer to your purpose, and just take it one day at a time. One step, baby steps. And you're going to be hard. I am very hard on myself. I don't need anybody else to beat up on me. But even when the day hard, say, okay, but I did this, or this moved an inch, or, you know, I achieved this. And that's all you can do. One step at a time, because it takes a while to change a habit. It takes a while to get to a point.
Yes.
That's all you can do.
I love that. Focus on what we have. Focus on what the lessons are. Yep. Focus on what we have. Focus on what the lessons are. Remove failure from our vocabulary. I love that. And I think for me, what I love the most is that sometimes when you don't know what to do, focus on who you can be. Love that. Ladies, both of you are overcomers, right? So tell us what it means to you to emerge on the other side of disappointment.
Debra. It's, I don't know how to describe it. It's just an awesome feeling of, let me see if I can describe it. You know, you watch these movies and you're at the top of this fantastic waterfall and all this water is running over and the fresh air and just the feeling of just, it's just, you feel good about you. You feel good about this next step. You feel good that it's not like you forget, but you are able to get through it and doing better, and doing more, and just feeling good. It's feeling good is a good feeling. If you understand what I mean.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
I've had years where I don't feel good. I'm not happy. I don't like me. I don't feel worthy. And to know, there were years where I never looked in the mirror. I never looked at myself because I never felt that it was enough. And The Greatest Showman, that
Yes,
movie,
yes.
yeah, that's my soundtrack. That is,
Oh,
this is
I love
me.
it.
This is me.
This is
That's my
me.
soundtrack.
Yeah.
That movie, yeah, if you never saw it, or even if you don't watch the movie, listen to the
Excellent.
soundtrack.
Yeah.
I can break out in song for you
Oh
guys.
God,
Please
there you
don't.
go.
Please don't. Please don't.
Well, it's just a good feeling to walk through and feel good and be happy with you and be
Yes.
comfortable in your skin. And even if you feel that you haven't achieved or you don't reach where you want to go, but you know you're going there,
Yeah.
and you're walking in that truth, in your truth, and you're comfortable in you. And I think a lot of people aren't comfortable with themselves, and they haven't found who they are.
Yeah.
Once you find who you are, and we're all still a work in progress, once you find who you are, you go, oh, hey, you, let's do this. And every day is a new, every day you learn something new about yourself. Every day you grow more. Every day you get stronger. That's all you can do.
Wow. Debra, hey you.
Yeah, so with everything that you overcome, you get stronger. So, I remember overcoming the fact that my forehead big. When I was growing up, big forehead never there were.
Never that
And
keep.
never there. And I used to get teased about my big forehead. I used to be called Buck Buck, and
Me too.
I wanted to die. And thank God for being a Christian, because I released that unforgiveness that I had for the person who gave me the nickname. And I would always have to have a bang. My hair had to come down to meet my eyebrows. And now look at me, like I don't care. There were times when I was too dark, and I was able to overcome and love my complexion. And there are times when I couldn't get dark enough. I would lie in the sun with baby oil on my skin to fry because I wanted to be darker. And I, to be an overcomer is liberating. And what it does is it gives you courage and strength, and you are then able to face the next hurdle, and you're like, bring it on. Yeah, I got this, I can do this. And when you find that faith, that peace, then you understand that there is nothing that you cannot do.
Amen.
So, guys, I think before we end, I'll play a little bit of that song Roxy's talking about. It's really amazing, but I'm just going to read some of the lyrics for you just so that you can understand what she was saying. It's really powerful. So it says, I'm not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, because we don't want your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say, no one will love you as you are. But I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words want to cut me down, I'm going to send a flood, going to drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, because here I come, and I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. It's really awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
Rush?
Wow. Ladies, I have one last question for you. And the question is this. When the story of your life is told, what are those key things that you want people to learn from your journey? see Debra nodding. Debra is like that and that.
I'm just trying to formulate an answer. Roxy, are you ready? You go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
So that's a hard one because I don't know that I've ever really thought about what I want people to I want people to have felt differently when they met me. Okay. So I want, when I'm talking with someone or even on the phone, or if I send an email, I want to to have an impact on that person, and I want to have said something kind to them. So my emails always start with, I hope you are well, or how are you? I cannot stand these emails that I get that start without good morning or hello Debra or good afternoon or something, and they just start to type. I don't like them. So, but I want people to know that I see them and I feel them, and I want them to feel that when they see me, when they talk to me.
Yeah.
I just want to be kind. I want to to have an impact in someone's life, in
That's
everyone's life.
very powerful. We discount kindness, and for at the end of the day, what people remember, kindness. That I
And it
matter.
doesn't take a lot to be
And that I
kind.
care, because I do care. I would
Yeah.
take everything that you're going through. I would take your ish and help you to work through it. So so I don't care about degrees and money and houses and all. I just want to know that everyone that had an interaction with me had a pleasant interaction with me.
That's powerful. Thanks, Debra. Roxene.
I just want to know that in some way, my journey, whichever section of it that you might can identify with, has inspired you, has touched you, has made you look at things differently in a good sense, and that I inspired you in some way. That's all. That's all I want. That's all I want, to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And that she was an idiot, but that's it.
I think what's so powerful is that at the end of the day, the things that matter to us, the impact we want to leave on people, tends to be very simple. It's never about how much money you had, how much fame you had, but it is how you actually use this life to impact other people and how you've made their life better. Just like you have made all our lives better. We cannot thank you, ladies, enough for joining us for part 2. And anybody that thinks a part 2, how long is part 2? Almost 2 hours, and we could have there the whole night. And when we're looking at the comments, I mean, people, Alice says like wonderful words. I see you, Gabriel. Gabriel said, I love that. Great advice from both ladies. Vida, I know you joined late, so you're going to have to watch it again. Lansdale, we love you. And Nickle says you both definitely did for sure, meaning that you have left an impact on his life and on all our viewers' lives. So ladies, continue the good work, and thank you so much for sharing your journey with us, that we were a part of this journey. Jan says, love this, can't believe the time. Always the right timing. Yeah, so you never even realize how long we here liming with these
I
ladies.
know. Thank you all so much. It's been a blessing. And I pray God's blessings on you all, that whatever you all continue to do, and wherever in your lives and as an entity, that you just continue to do great work.
Thank you.
Debs.
Thank you so much.
You ladies know how I love you, Roxene. It has been a pleasure. It's been interesting to see the divergence of our experiences, because there are quite a
So
number of
similar.
similarities, and I would love to have tea. One
Spot of
afternoon.
tea, love.
A pot of tea. And ladies, I'm just throwing it out there. Detour essentials do include, or any questions people will have about wines for another time. So
I think we will definitely incorporate that.
Only if we're getting wine to drink.
Pardon?
Only if we're getting wine to drink.
Of course, but this was not. But that would have just taken this totally over.
No,
But
we definitely need to incorporate a wine tasting session.
Agreed. I'm sure that they,
in Detour essentials.
Correct. Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bless you all.
Thank you.
Wow. Oh my gosh. There was just so much, it was just so much. I mean, one thing is for sure, if nothing else, we got that our faith is important and trusting our relationship with God, whether you identify as a Christian or not. Asking God for guidance, it's not a requirement. Remove failure from our vocabulary, critical. Focus on how we can become better. Focus on what we have right now. A lot of us like to look at what we don't have, what God has not done for us yet, what we're waiting on, instead of focusing on the things that we do have, the lessons that we have learned, and the blessings that we do possess. And think about what brings us joy. Those ladies are so powerful. They've gone through so much. We learned so much about endometriosis. I've already reached out to Shauna, FYI. So we're definitely going to be able to educate everybody else a little bit more on endometriosis. Next week we're taking a break. We're preparing because we also have to reset and prepare for reset. And so we are taking a break next week. So there will be no Detour Essentials. So this is the close of our first season. Is that what it is, ladies? Our first season of
It's
Detour
something like that.
Essentials? I think so. Absolutely. So we are prepared.
But we will be back.
We will definitely be back. And we'll be back with so much more. We are taking the time to reset. We're going on our retreat to plan what the rest of our year looks like. And we're also taking the time to plan reset for July 18th, because of course, that takes a lot of effort on our part, because we want to make sure that everything is great for you guys. The experience is good and it is going to be impactful. The workbook, of course, is going to be detailed. So make sure. So many people have signed up. Gabby signed up. She threatened me last night and asked me where's her workbook. I was like, no, you don't get it yet. So registration is now open. Just click on our bio on Instagram at Ready to Emerge, and you can register for the workshop on July 18th.
I love me some Lansdale,
Yes, you're right, Lansdale.
Next show, and it's like, say, you have a marathon where you have your glass of wine, you might have a cup of tea with you, and you just do a marathon of Detour, etc. This is so important.
Yes.
But guys, this is the end of our first season. I mean, we're like Oprah. She has seasons.
We had a season.
We have seasons. So one of the things that we're going, Heidi, you know that Heidi just said, wait, what? So what am I going to do on Wednesday night until you come back? So now that we've said it out loud, that it's the end of the first season, I'm like, so what are we going to do?
What are we doing? I don't know the Wednesday night now.
So we will be back we will be back in August. A big part of this too is that we have lots of different types of shows coming and guests, and we really wanted to just take some time to come back even bigger and better, because our emergers deserve the best. So we are taking some time to reset. Registration for reset is $37 US. Registration is open, and we're really looking forward to sharing that time with you. It's very important for us to go through even the workbooks because it's going to be very interactive so that at the end of the day, you're coming out with some actionable plans for the second half of the year. You know how I think about that? I think every day is like a whole brand new day for us to just rediscover ourselves. And we've been doing a lot of that and we've been doing it with you. So we're really looking forward to sharing that time with you. We're looking forward to the announcement of season 2. Oh my gosh, it's like we're gonna have we should have firecrackers and stuff for
When do you
season
feel like
2.
Gabby's going?
But
August.
Gabby's like August.
That's 3 Wednesday.
Gabby, I love
I told her she needs to gear up because we're having a sibling night. They're
I
like,
don't know
wait,
why I heard that 3 Wednesdays in Livy's voice for some reason when I read it.
you. So you know that it's very important that we're back in August because August is the most important month of the year. August is the month that a most amazing person was born.
my eyes.
She is a gift. She was a gift to her mother. Her name, in case you don't know, is Rochelle Cameron, and she was born on August 20. May I tell you something emerges from August 1st when it started the happy birthday. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. Me love my birthday. Me love it bad. And don't worry, me go remember Uno because me go remind Uno every Wednesday that we're back in August. So I'm looking forward to celebrating
So
my
on the 19th, we'll sing her happy birthday. Wait, what? I thought it was just next week that you were taking off.
So D-Spen says, I can't make it to reset. Will the event be recorded and the content available? Yes, it will be available. It is always much better live, but we recognize that some persons won't be able to be there on the day. So all the information will be available.
You think you're alone born August, Rochelle?
Oh, no, me one born. I thought I was the only person that was born in August. There are other people.
No, the great Alexi is born in August as well.
So August 20th, mark it on your calendar. Mark the 19th and the 21st because that's when it all emerges. Guys, I am going to cry. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself for the next 3 weeks. I have no idea. I mean,
we have work to do.
Right, guys.
Please
don't listen to Rochelle. We actually have an emerge retreat that we're all going on as we're planning out the second season of Detour Essential, as well as lots more in store for you guys. So it's not a vacation for us. I don't know what Rochelle is talking about. She thinks her birthday is in July. It starts now, leading up to the 20th.
No, she thinks her birthday starts on August 1st.
You guys, it's my happy spirit, and you just take it and you're like, line up my happy spirit and
that's not gonna be. There's no way we could affect your happy spirit, Rochelle.
Okay, you can't.
We're still live. You guys normally save this behavior for after we come off. We're still live.
Oh,
okay. Sorry.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
We appreciate you. Yeah, but you know, we just want to say to you at the time that we're off, use the time. Please watch some of our past episodes. We've had some amazing guests. But as we take a break and we look forward to rejoining with you shortly, we just pray God's immense blessings over your life in everything that you touch. We hope that something today has resonated with you that's going to make that change for you to make that step. Know that all of your lives are divinely purposed. Yes, we had some bad days and sometimes we're wondering what are we going to do for that next step, but know that we are divinely purposed. You are here for a reason and you're here to impact, and we're just looking forward to sharing more with you. So may God just bless every area of your life, everything that you touch, and we just ask for angelic coverage over every one of you.
No, I think we should take offense, because I don't know if she's like a Rochelle Tetes.
What is happening here?
I don't understand
what he's saying.
You know what, Catherine? After I was ending in such a beautiful way, you allowed a thing called, it's a disease. It's called bad mind.
We spoke about that today on Elaine's program as well.
It's a disease. So you were unable to contain your bad mind because my darling Gabby said, big up Rochelle. I just want you. I want when you feel bad mind lift upon you. I want to say, bad mind, sit down. Sit down, bad mind. Sit down.
Bye, everybody.
We love you.
Bye, guys. We love you. Still continue to be just popping up there from time to time.
Yes.
And like, subscribe, comment, share. Ready to Emerge on YouTube. We love you guys.
Love you.